Hello everyone, my name is Dixit and this is my channel Pentest Diaries. So today I'll continue the same series of Python programming. So this is exercise number 4. So let's begin. So before proceeding further, these are the links on which you can connect me. Here's a LinkedIn link, blog link, and even the GitHub link. You can connect me over here. And whatever the code I'm presenting in this tutorial, so you can get it from the GitHub directly. Now we'll proceed to the statement of the code itself. Okay, so in this we have to create a program in which user have to input the value which define the length of the pyramid. So we have to give whatever the value we have to give it from our side just to make it a pyramid. So like if it's a 5, it's 6, 7, whatever the value we want it, we can put it. And I'm giving one more feature over here, that is like if we want to print a pyramid in a forward format, we can put it that. If we want to make it a pyramid in a reverse format, like just a reverse of it, so we can make it by that way. So for this there is another input we have to give it. If it's a 0 input by the user, then in that case a pyramid will be printed in a reverse format. But if user have input a value 1, then in that case a pyramid will create it in a forward format only. Okay, so now let's create a simple program. So this is the program which I have already created from my side. Okay, so the thing is that it's a straightforward program in which this is just a print command in which we have to print on a screen. Then in variable 1 we are taking a value, an integer value we have to take it, that's why we have defined it as an int. Now in variable 2 we are taking an input as 1 or 0. So 1 is for the forward pattern and 0 for the reverse pattern. Now we have to create one function over here. So function with the def pattern name, and in this two variables we are using it, that is var1 and var2. Now we are using, instead of the function, we are using if condition, where we are checking like whatever the value we are putting in var2, like either 0 or 1. So accordingly, if var2 value is 001, like it's equal to 1, then in that case this section will execute other than the else one. So I'll just discuss about the first if section first. So in this this is a temporary variable where we're defining a value of var3 equal to 1. This is a temporary variable. So this is this variable I'm using it just to print the star values continuously inside of it and to make it a loop inside of it. So that was the reason var is equal to 1 itself. Now var4 is using for the spacing, like when we creating a pyramid on screen. So at that time, instead of printing the stars, we have to make it a spaces also. So spaces are not visible to us, but the thing is that for that to make it working and to display appropriately on the screen, we required the variable which take care of the spaces also. So for that we are defining var4 equal to var1 minus 1. So whatever the value of the var1 we have it over here, so accordingly minus 1 is over there. Like taking example, only one star is printed at once. So after that, almost if we are putting a value var1 equal to 5, then in that case almost 4 spaces are required at first shot. So that was the reason var4 required as 4 and var3 as 1 and var1 as 5. Okay, now we'll proceed further. Now we'll start with a while loop. So over there we have to give it a value var3 is less than equal to var1. So if this condition over here, the condition is var3 is 1 and var5 is 5. So all till 5 the value this loop will work appropriately. Once the value is more than the 5, then it's automatically we are coming out of this while loop. So in the initial phase, var3 value is 1 and var1 value is 5. So we just go inside of this while loop. Now this is for this section is just for that I can say that for the spaces. So we are just given, this is a temporary variable, that is j, and we are giving a range started from 0 to var4. So var4 is like whatever the value we are getting it from here, that is 4. 5 minus 1, I can consider as we are putting var1 as 5. So So over here the value is 4. Okay, so range started from 0 to 4. So initially when this program runs, so almost 4 spaces will be created for us, then only the star will be printed. This command we are using over here just to make it as spaces first. Okay, so this is for the spaces. Once the spaces will be generated, then after that it's going to the next section, that is where we have defined a var3 into star. So whatever the value of the var3 over here we have it, accordingly the star will be printed. So initially we have the var3 value as 1, then in that case the star is only 1. Once it increase the value 2, then 2 stars over there. So we'll just go it further with it. Then after that, this is just for making the line differences between the first line and second line. So that was the reason I'm using it /r. And then after that, increment of the var3, like initially we have the var3 as 1, and then after once this complete process happen, like var3 value 1 plus 1 equal to 2. So next time when the loop runs, we have the var3 value as 2. Now var4 value is initially as 4, so we have to reduce the value. Now as the spaces we have to, like initially we have to print 4 spaces, then we have to print 3 spaces, 2 spaces, 1 spaces. So initially is 4 minus 1, it's 3. So next time when this program runs, only 3 spaces will be printed, then after 2 stars will be printed. Okay, so this is all about the if section. Now we'll go to the else section. If a person is selected as 0, that is we call as a reverse pattern, then in that case var5 is a temporary variable. I can say that I have just introduced over here. Then we'll just directly go to the while loop once again. Over here our condition is like whatever the var1 value, that is 5, is greater than 0. So till the var5 value is greater than 0, this value will work. Okay, so now what will happen? Initially var5 value is greater than 0. Okay, so in that case we'll just go inside of this loop, and over here it's the same thing for printing the spaces. So over here some differences like from the earlier one in whatever the things we are using it for the forward. So it's something different in case of reverse one. We have to put it var5 over here instead of we have put it that you can see that we have put it var4, but instead over here we are using 0, we have to put it var5. Like initially when we going for the reverse section, then in that case there is no spaces we needed. So that was the reason initially var5 is the 0 value. Okay, and then after that till 0, so nothing we want to print it initially, as all 5 stars will be printed. Then after that the value will be reduced by -1. Okay, so till like what are the difference in between of it? So the difference we have mentioned by -1. Now this is for the space itself. Then after that we'll proceed further. We'll check the value of var1. Initially the value is 5, so 5 times the stars will be printed. Then after that, this is for the I can say that the difference between the lines itself, like once the first line will be printed, there is a gap we can see it on the screen by putting the -r. Then after that var1 equal to var1 minus 1. So initially our value is 5, so we will have to reduce the value so that we can print 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that was the reason we are reducing the value of var1. And in case of var5, initially the value is 0 and we have to increase the spaces value. That was the reason we are increasing the value from 1. Initially is 0, then after that we have to make it 1, 2, 3, 4. So accordingly we have to print it accordingly. Okay, so now this is for that just to call this complete function. So just to call this function main, we have defined it var1, we are passing the value of var1 and var2 and just going to the function, and whatever the required steps we wanted out of this program we can get it very easily. Now let's run this program. So once we run the program, initially I'll just run this program by 2 ways itself, one for the forward and what about the reverse one. So taking example, I'll put the value as 5 first, and then I have to select the one value which is a forward pattern. When I click on it, I get the value. Okay, I'll just make my screen bigger so you can be able to see. So you can see this is the forward one. Okay, so 1 is started, 2, 3, 4 and then 5. Okay, now I'll go for the reverse one. So in this we have to select the same value 5, then I'll put it the value 0 and put it enter. then in that case you can see that it's a reverse pattern where 5 will be printed first, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is a reverse pattern. In this code I have not give it a condition of like I can give it one more condition over here, as I'm just putting in maybe a possibility anyone can try with like other than 0 and 1 if anyone is putting any other value. So what exactly the thing happened? So we can do one thing more over here. We can make it like elif over here for this, okay, and then var2 equal to 0, okay, and now we are giving else condition and printing wrong pattern selection. We can mention it over here, okay. Now if we even put a wrong value, then in that case it will like we are getting this error. I'll try to run it once for you now, okay. So now we'll put once again 5, and if we put any other value like 2, so you can see that we can get an error like wrong pattern selection. So this is the thing, we can make it our program appropriate, so that if anyone try with any other things, in that case also program will work and nothing will be intrusive stuff inside of it, okay. So this is the only thing which I'll try to get it discussed with you. Now let's go back to the slides once again. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. Please, if you like this video, please like this video, subscribe my channel, and if you like to connect me, you can connect me on LinkedIn. Here's my blog URL. I'll put all the content which I have discussed with you today, I'll put it on my blog, and even you can get this code from my GitHub link. Thank you so much once again. Bye bye.